Good morning. It's a beautiful day here. It's been raining. It's cold. And sometimes the sun pays us a visit between the clouds. It's one of those days. The birds are out. It feels like spring. It's a beautiful day. I like when it rains. It's a reminder to humility, you know, a reminder of humility, but in my opinion. But some people, they bitch about the weather all the time, regardless. And I think it's not the weather that's bothering them, it's something else. But eventually, something just breaks the camel's back and they just start bitching about the weather. But deep down, it's something else. The stress of modern day civilization, the stress, the pressure, and another thing almost nobody talks about is the state of toxicity that most people is in. Their bodies is just a repository of wastes from the things they drink, the things they eat and are exposed to. You know, there's almost nobody looking into, you know, what you eat, the importance of what you eat, or especially what you drink. Because water, is one of those things. Without water, we are just a pile of dust. They say it's 70% of water. I say it's more because water not only can be solid, liquid, vapor, and gel, and most of our bodies is mainly gel, as gelatin. I mean, muscles, etc. Fat. It's a type of gel. Anyway, I don't think we'll ever know all the secrets. We are not meant to know all the secrets, how things work, how things are. Funny, when someone comes along with a breakthrough, the peer review destroys them, The peer review destroys them. Doesn't matter who it is. What is peer review anyway? Peer review is what is popular, What is popular is untrue. Truth is not popular, you know, because truth doesn't make money. Truth is the enemy of capitalism, consumerism, corporatism. People kind of lose it. Yes, they are in enormous stress due to co- cu- current civilization, ways of doing. And just recently, I've heard someone complaining, some decades ago, a job was an occupation, it was a pleasure, and people took it as a challenge or to do something good for the world, or an occupation, and you worked I don't know, 7 hours a day or 6 hours a day, and now a job has become in the at the present, a job has become just a way of making money, and you have to work extra and you have to have two jobs because otherwise you just don't make ends meet. When did the switch happen? When did it happen? Of course, his reality is a bit different, from everybody else's. He's coming from a boomer, a baby boomer generation. So this thing called economy, oh man, everybody should work to have the smallest economy possible, because the tall it gets, the taller is the fall. I can't remember exactly the saying, but the bigger it gets, the higher is the collapse or something like that. You know, money, it's an object. Although they are trying to digitalize it, well, if it becomes digital, then it loses its point, actually. And it's already been noticed that people who deal exclusively in digital, for the most part, they don't know how to um what's the expression? They don't know how to économiser. Économiser. Comment on dit ça? Save money. They don't know how to save money. They just spend it all because it's meaningless. It's just a digital pixel, If you had it in your hands, then it's different. It has a different impact on you. Anyway, everybody should focus in other stuff than money. It's not the answer. Because everybody's obsessed with it, they are getting farther and farther away from our natural environment. And that's when you go and get so possessed by stress and you can't sleep. You seek the help of doctors to give you some pills, some stimulants, and then you eat trash and you drink trash to the point that your body becomes a repository of waste. And one day you just collapse. And our bodies, they have this tendency of ensuring us everything's all right, even though things are not. It's only when it gets really, really bad, that's when it hits you. People sometimes are sick and they can't tell unless someone points it out, And it goes the same for the body. It's a slippery slope, you know. I've been feeling a bit of pain here, a bit of pain there. Oh, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Years later, you collapse, and it evolved to chronic, and but that's how things are, I suppose. Our bodies were built that way, I suppose, to just deal with the situation. You could compare it with the boiling frog, analogy. Yeah, our bodies just take it, and you just can't see it. Everybody else around you might see it that you are sick, mentally or physically, but you just can't see it yourself. Your body is in a state of survival almost, and you just can't see it. So most people are highly stressed and very toxic, and they just don't know it. They become very irritated with simple things like the changes of the weather. It has become a religion, actually. Whenever the weather changes, they think it's the gods. This is pantheism, by the way. Whenever they see pantheism or paganism, when they see the weather change, they think it's the gods that are about to punish them because you've been such a bad, bad person. Anyway, the world will change a lot if people, for instance, worried about water and the consumption of clean water. Because what has been fed by the public system is not good. Not good at all. It's below mediocre. It's really alarming. They found out there's multiple chemicals and even drugs, in these in the public system, and when you drink, unclean water, it changes you because you mainly composed of water as well. So if that water that is unstable and unclean assimilates with your body, it's the reason why a lot of people are crazy. It's because of that. Crazy in the sense, again, like the boiling frog, they don't know they're crazy. Crazy deranged. They can't see it, but everybody else outside can see it. If people would search for clean sources of water and start drinking, it would from there it would start this pattern in people's attitude. You would see things getting better if people became more interested in what is exactly that I'm drinking. Because water is water. No, not exactly. Are you going to drink out of the toilet? Of course not. You probably get sick. So water needs to be, in a certain in a certain in a certain stable position. It has to be. I also remember now that water, sometimes in certain sources, they don't have sodium. Water doesn't have sodium in certain sources, so you have to be careful because you'll need salt on the side. You need to add a little bit of sodium to the water. Some guy was saying, "Oh, I drink from this place," and it's only 5 years later that someone mentioned, "Oh, this water doesn't have sodium," and he was low on sodium. We are almost like a battery. We require sodium, our bodies. You'll collapse, you'll malfunction. You start craving it as well. Some while, I don't know, 5 years ago, I went, you know, and did some restrictions in the diet. And one of those restrictions was salt. You know, I started eating mainly meat and eggs, and sometimes I would eat some fruit and some salads, but it was just that. And I didn't, salted my food at all. And after a year or two, I started craving salty things in low quantity. And after that, I couldn't tolerate normal food from the restaurant or whatever. To me, it was extremely salty. Salt can be used to also to mask the flavor of certain things or to make them more appetizing. You know, but if you really want to know, the true taste of things, you have to remove salt and sugar, and then you'll know. Our sense, our tongue, our sensors will actually deduce when you're eating something actually loaded on nutrients or not. If you add salt to it, it kind of numbs your tongue, it kind of numbs your sensors. Everything just starts tasting the same. But if you remove the salt, you'll become more sensitive. Your palate, it becomes more sensitive. That's what I noticed. Things taste differently. I became more demanding in the things I ate, more demanding, exigeant, like demanding. Um, I also noticed that the supermarkets, 99% of what they were selling was useless. Things that come inside a plastic or a box, or it has all of these expiration dates, and they are loaded with chemicals, and they are a pleasure for the sensors indeed, but at what cost? It just loads your body with, you know, trash. You're pretty much, you are indulging your sensors, but you're treating your body like it's a bin. It's a garbage bin. Some of these chemicals will take years to leave the body, and they just accumulate and accumulate. If you don't, take measures, they can cloud your judgment, cloud your everything. And then again, the body will never tell you, oh, something is wrong. The body just deals with it. This physical body we have is something of a miracle, you know. And I can tell you, this thing was built to grow, reproduce, and that's it. After you're 30, 35, 40, once you reach 40, you're an old man. I'm sorry, but you're an old man. No matter how exercise you do, no matter how well you treat yourself, after 40, you're an old man, you know. Before that, this works, it works perfectly for the most part, right? It has a vitality and you know, a metabolism. Those are the of growing and reproducing. After that, the body's like, okay, job accomplished. Whatever happens now, who cares? That's why it's not really. I mean, modern society is not really compatible with the rhythm of nature or the rhythm of our bodies. Modern society demands you the best years of your life to focus on education, should I say, indoctrination, and working like an idiot. And when you hit the wall, it's when society expects you to reproduce. Shut up. The best years of your life, they want you, grinding, for your boss, for your CEO, for your company, for whatever. It doesn't make any sense. Again, when did people started, making money the center of the universe? When did it happen? When did the switch happen? It doesn't make any sense money nowadays anyway, because everything is becoming mediocre. That's what happens under communism. Everything becomes mediocre. The ones leading the world right now is that country that I'm not gonna say. And that's what happens when you let communism rule. Everything becomes mediocre. Everything is faked. So what's the point in having money if everything's mediocre? Okay, I've been ranting for 20 minutes already. Yeah, water is a big thing. Is a big thing that changes, will have an impact on your behavior. The water that's been fed by the public system, by these company waters, public company waters, or whatever, or private, that's not to be trusted at all. Everybody should have a well. Everybody should have a source to get their water. When you get corporations behind such an imperative thing, it's a disaster. It's going to be a disaster. Anyway, I think I'm going to shut up now. Have a nice day.